Let's talk about coronavirus. But before that, thousands of Ghanaian kids, my age and below, are losing their mother tongue to the English language every day, and I am not an exception. To some, it's a manifestation of how civilized we have become, but that is very dangerous to the future of this country, because our language is our security and identity, basically. If we look on for this to happen, we should even forget about us being Ghanaians. Our identity will be completely buried in a few years away. This is why I am initiating a program called The Language and the Culture to bring everything back on track. Consistently, I've been trying to get in touch with Honorable Barbara Jesse, but she's not responding. Either her PA is not passing my information to her, or she's actually not responding. Please, if you know her personally, tell her. I have a major work to do with her in this country while she's still in office. This is a time to add her name to the history book of Ghana, if she has any plan like that. So she should respond to me as soon as possible. I am not kidding. Thank you. Let's talk about this coronavirus. I don't know who gave it that name anyway, but this is a virus that is causing fear and panic around the world. This is a virus that is traveling at the speed of light, and humans are trembling because of its devastating effects. Nations are putting measures in place to do what they can. Now, what about Ghana? When you turn on the television and the radio, all you hear is, "We are prepared, we are prepared." If you say we are prepared, how do you mean by that? Because I'm not sure you're talking about making PPE materials, quarantine houses, and doctors available. Is that what you mean by "we are prepared"? The basic is not PPE materials, quarantine houses, and other medical requirements, though those are necessary. I mean, those are secondary matters. But the goal is to make sure that the virus doesn't enter Ghana in the first place. That is what prevention is better than cure means. And in preventing this, what is our aggressiveness level? Because that is the most important part. It's amazing. All you hear in the airwaves is that we have equipment at the airport checking those coming in the country. But the airport is just one part of the entry point into the nation. What about the seaports and the borders? Do we have the same equipment at those places to check the people who come in the country? I'm talking about Togo, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria. There are people coming in every day by sea and by land. What about that? Don't forget, people transit every day, so someone can transit to a nearby country and come in by sea any day. What about that? Especially when they can give a few dollars to some custom officers. So how come you're only talking about airports? Our custom officers at the borders. If a foreigner handed them $1,000, do you think they will not raise the bars for them to come in? Do we even have some of those checking machines at those places? That's another question. So if you say we are prepared, how do you all mean by "we are prepared"? We are waiting for the virus to hit the nation before we start running up and down. Abi, Ghana government, what is your strength in tracking down suspected people if they come into the country? Advanced nations are cleaning their public sitting places and transports. Countries are washing their major cities and spraying their atmosphere every day. Even with that, they are still trembling. And you think if the virus comes in here, the PPE can fix it? Mr. President, do you think we can do the same? Do we even have what it takes? Do we even have patriotic citizens enough to fight if this happens? To be cleaning around like other nations are doing if this happens? So I don't think the main focus should be centered on PPE materials and quarantine places. Let's put our strength in all the entry points and aggressively stick to the plan and be selfish about our security. Because if not, and this corona enters here, I don't trust our strength as a nation. We are just 30 million people, nowhere compared to the Chinese and American population. Once again, let's be very selfish about our security, because some other nations have stopped flights from coming into their country. 30 million people, Mr. President. We are just too small to be losing some. Now, a word to the wise, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.